All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 19 of the PTFootyPodcast. I'm your host, Peter, and I'm here with Brian,
Hello, everybody.
Kevin,
What's up, everybody?
and Sam.
Hello, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure.
And it's a pleasure to have you on. We're still waiting on Alex to come on.
No, I'm right here.
Eventually.
So apologies for
Okay.
the delay, guys.
Okay,
There he is.
finally. Okay.
About time.
There he is. So everybody's here, which is good. So let's get right into it. First, I want to just quickly mention that we have a Facebook page. If people don't know yet, you should go follow us there. Just in case, you miss anything, we'll post out the links there. It's PT Footy Podcast. I'm pretty sure it's www.facebook.com/PT Footy Podcast. I think that's it. I want to start by mentioning out that Portugal obviously won both games pretty comfortably, and with Brian having to go through a hurricane or whatever the hell it was, me losing power, and Alex couldn't be on it anyway as well, so we skipped that. I mean, Portugal won 6-0 against Andorra. Ronaldo scored 4 goals, I think, and then André Silva and Cancelo. And then against the Faroe Islands, I think it was André Silva hat-trick, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. And then a couple other goals, Ramuting scored and all that. So it was 2 easy wins, 6 points, and we're rocking, obviously. I mean, nothing else was expected from that.
Which I did predict. I said at least 5-0 in both games, if you remember. Just saying. I called it.
I called Benfica scoreline today, so, I mean, we're even. But we're going to start with Porto today. And Kevin, you guys played Gafanha. I think they're from the Campeonato Nacional de Seniors, I believe. They're ranked number 1st in whatever series they are. It was a pretty comfortable 3-0 win. Otávio, Corona, and Dupoitre scored. Obviously, the starting 11 was Essay in goal, Maxi Pereira making a return start. Bolly, Marcano, Alex Telles, Danilo, Herrera, and Oliver in the midfield. Otávio, Jota, and André Silva. First thing I want to ask you is, how did Maxi do after coming back from injury?
He did good. It was an opponent who was, with all due respect when I say this, but they're a lot weaker than us. So we dominated from start to finish, which was expected. I don't think that anybody expected a surprise in that match. Like I said, we dominated. There was great team chemistry. But I did see, Moxie was trying to get fit again and get some minutes, and because he's been out for a month and a half or so, where he hasn't really played a full 90 or 2 months or so. So it was good to see him out there and start getting into shape again and getting into good form. So against an opponent like Gafanha, I don't mind that he did start the match for Porto, but I do like Layun starting as right back instead of Moxie, and yesterday was a prime example of why I would pick Layun over Moxie. But when Moxie gets back into his normal self, he will compete back for a spot. So we'll see what happens with that.
And I mean, there's not really much to talk about. I mean, I'll ask you about Jota because he started, and how did he do?
Oh, he's just phenomenal. I mean, after the whole Rafa Silva debacle, I was a little bit depressed that Benfica had signed Rafa instead of Porto. But, it happened, and, maybe it was a blessing in disguise, and we got Jota. And against Nacional, he got the hat-trick, and he played extremely well against Gafanha. Played well yesterday, too. So, I'm glad that he's there. He's actually being picked over players like Brahimi, so that says a lot. So I think it was definitely a good signing. I hope we exercise our option because the way things are going, He's playing extremely well. He's fitting in with the team very well. I think that the 20 or 22 million, whatever was stipulated in the loan, I think that might be excessive. I don't think he's worth that much. But I see us paying more than 10 million for him, especially if he keeps it up. So I don't know if Atletico will be willing to deal with us. I know they have a ban. They got suspended by UEFA Fair Play. So Andres Silva, but they're gonna have to wait on him because they just got the suspension on purchasing any players. So I hope that we are able to afford him and keep him, but I don't think Atletico can recall him. I think we have
unless it's in the contract that the
which
player
we
can be
don't.
recalled, they can't.
So which you don't really know. So I hope that it's not in there in the contract that they can recall him anytime, and if they do, I hope that they would pay us like the whole Casemiro deal. So Jota's great, and I'm glad he's here.
And last question: how did Bali do?
Honestly, there wasn't enough work for him to do in that match. So, I mean, there's not really much to add. Porto was just attacking the whole match, keeping possession, and Gafanga didn't really do anything to cause any problems. And the goalie and the defense were pretty much, they were not busy. So, not really much to add on Bully. I do like him, though. I think that he has a lot of potential. So far, our center backs, I guess they've been working out. I would like to see Boli and Philippe partner up because I think that Boli will be very good on set pieces along with Philippe. And if you remember when we first signed Philippe, I said that it looks like he'll be good for us on set pieces. And he has been, especially against Roma and against Sporting. So, I'd like to see Boli partner up with Philippe and see where it takes us.
And I think that closes that chapter on Gafang. I mean, it was an expected.
Not really much to
win.
add. Yeah.
Only thing I want to add is that the draw is in 2 days' time, so on Friday at 12 o'clock local time in Portugal. So there's that. Now moving on to yesterday's game against Bruges, you managed to win, and that's the word I'm going to use. You managed to win.
Yeah.
By 2-1. Layun and Andres Silva scored. Obviously, Andres Silva 90th minute penalty. Before you start off, I'm just going to give you the starting 11. Obviously, Casillas was back in goal. Layun, Felipe Marcano, and Alex Telles across the back. Ahead of Danilo and Oliver Torres in the midfield. Otavio Jota and Andres Silva up top. It was interesting, and I'm going to start with that you said that Layun played well, because when I was refreshing around on our Twitter account, I noticed that Simon wasn't very happy with him. So what did you think of Layun's overall performance?
Well, there was in this match. I know we have two halves, but there really was a first half and there was a second half. I didn't get to watch the first half, but from what I saw when I tuned in to the second half, I thought Layun played well. He scored a great goal. As I was hearing the match on the radio, I do recall them saying that, Layun was having a bad night and whatever. But when I tuned in and I started watching, I thought he played well. So, he's not a right back like Moxie is. He's more of a winger. Like, you can use him as a left back, but he just can't defend. But going like on the attack, like, he's very dangerous. And it proved yesterday when he scored that goal. The guy on the TV was like, he's a right back and he's all the way up there and he scored this great goal. He's more of a winger. So I don't see Nuno switching out any of the wingers for Layun. I don't see that unless there's injuries and he absolutely has to. But defending wise, like the total package as a right back, Moxie is better. But if you're looking for a right back / winger who's going to be attacking more, Layun is the better option if you're not really worried about defending. So, going back to yesterday's game, like I said, when I tuned in, I thought he was doing pretty good. But I heard otherwise, so I don't really know. I can't really vouch for what I heard and what people are saying because I didn't see it. But second half, he was great. And yeah, you can go to the next question if you have another
The
one.
next question was, what did you think of the overall performance of the team in the second half?
The second half was much better. Still very sloppy. Um, I did go back and I watched some of the highlights in the first half, and they were just extremely, extremely poor. Like reverting back to the Lopetegui era. So, I was a little frustrated with that. We were lucky to get away with being down 1-0 at halftime because Brugge had a couple of chances to score at least two in the first half. So, very shaky in the back, especially the midfield. The midfield was very sloppy. A lot of missed passes. Andres Silva was isolated up front. He had no support. It seemed like everybody was just lazy. Like they expected it to be a walk in the park. So, it was a disgrace actually to see Porto play the way they did in the first half because they're so much better than that. Second half, like I said, much better. Still sloppy in the middle. But when Brahimi came in, he definitely changed the match there. And when he came in, he helped us out a lot. He had a chance when he came in. He was very close. So I was happy with him. I was surprised because you know how I really feel about him. I think that he's a ball hog and he's an individualist. So it was nice to see him come in and make such a big impact. And then, of course, the Andres Silva penalty. There's no argument on
I
that.
didn't watch, so I didn't watch it. So
Yeah, it was a
I'll
clear.
take your
You
word
don't even
for it.
have to. Yeah, you don't even have to. I think if the other guys watch the highlights, I'm sure they'll vouch for it. Clear penalty. Corona got taken on in the box. So, yeah, the second half was much better, but I'm still not completely happy with the way that they played overall. I mean, I'm content that they won, obviously, and I mentioned it in the DM yesterday, private messages, and Brian knows. I said that I think it's going to end 1-1. I even said they might come away with the 3 points,
Yeah.
but I honestly think that they were going to end up with a 1-1 draw. But I'm content with the win, but not too happy with the overall performance of the team.
So Kevin, it was basically the same match, the same type of match that you played against Copenhagen, right? From what you're describing it to me, it feels like it was pretty much the same thing.
Yeah,
Even though the result was different, obviously, but
yeah.
the team played almost the same way.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because I feel like they think it's supposed to be an easy win. And before the match, Nuno said, there's no margin for error, and he was right on that. Um, and he's the coach, and he has control over his players and the formations and everything, and the tactics and whatnot. So, um, I don't know what they're thinking out there. I mean, against Copenhagen, that should have been a win. We were up 1-0, and we let Copenhagen back in. We really did.
Mhm.
And then with the match yesterday against Brugge, we let Brugge play the way they wanted in the first half. Like, they were all over us, and I couldn't believe it. Like, when I was watching those highlights in the first half, I couldn't believe it. That goal that Brugge scored, like, everybody was just standing around. So,
Yeah. Could it
this match
be?
was worse, though. Like, this match was worse than the Copenhagen match. A lot more sloppier.
But Kevin, could it be that the message from the coach is not getting into the players' minds, or because Nuno, from what he said in the presser, they said that it was a hard game. It wasn't going to be easy, yada yada yada. But what you're saying is that the team went into the game like it was an easy game. So my question is the message going through? Are the players listening to what Nuno's saying?
It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, I don't know what the message is because the game even against Leicester City, in the first half again, they weren't that great. So I don't know what he's given them as a message in these Champions League games because it doesn't make any sense. For the league, they'll be on fire like the game against Nacional. Like, that's the Porto I know. The game that we won against Nacional where we just completely destroyed them. That's the Porto that I know. When I show up for the Champions League, it's like they forget how to really play. So he must be relaying a different message. I think obviously his priority is the league, but also keep in mind that, this is the Champions League. We can get money from this. It's very important, especially now. I think we'll be saving money now that Peter de Costa is single again. So I think we'll magically find some money. But it needs to be taken seriously. I think that when I was kind of afraid about this when we got drawn into this group, that they were going to be a little bit lazy until it came to Leicester City. Everybody was saying Leicester and Porto. Well, now Copenhagen are in second. I still think we're going to make it out of the group. I'm pretty confident on that. Even if we drew yesterday or lost, I think that there's no way that Copenhagen was going to make it over us. So, it's frustrating to say the least.
I was going to ask you exactly that, but you just answered it for me. You think you still go through even though you only have 4 points. And just to finish off, I'll give you the standings, by the way. So Leicester City first place with 9 points, Copenhagen with 4 points in second, Porto with 4 points as well in third, but Copenhagen got a +3 goal difference, while Porto have a 0 goal difference. And Bruges is pretty much if they beat Porto, they're back in it, but they're in fourth with 0 points and a -8 goal difference. So you guys should go through, I think, but still a lot more sloppily than it should have been. It should have been a lot more, clear cut.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
But moving on now to Sporting and Sam, you guys played the Famalicão, obviously. First and foremost for the Taça Portugal, Markovic scored. And Beto was in goal, so Beto, João Pereira, Paulo Oliveira, that hasn't played in almost a year, started. Douglas and Jefferson complete the back four. Petrovic got a start, and with Elias, Bruno Cesar, Markovic, Alan Ruiz, and André. My first question to you goes, what did you think of the game?
I thought it was a very even game, but I don't think Sporting should be playing like that in the future. Against the second-tier side, we only beat them 1-0. I don't think that's good enough of us, especially with the team we had out. It wasn't the first team, but it was still a pretty solid team that I think we should have scored more goals and had better defense, in all fairness.
You got lucky in the end where Famalicão player heads the ball just out of the bar and a couple other chances. But I thought that Paulo Oliveira was pretty solid.
Yeah, not playing for a year, he's come back and he looks like he hasn't missed a beat, really. He was very good in that game, I thought. One of the, if not the best player on the pitch.
But what about Douglas?
I'm not too sure on Douglas yet. I probably need to see more in play. But he played okay in that game. Nothing amazing.
But Petrovic was not so impressive.
I didn't think he played very well. He gave a lot of possession away. He wasn't that good on defence. Sometimes I thought they would go through and go and score when he gave the ball away, but our defence held up well, I guess, at the end of the day. So.
And here's something interesting: is that Alan Ruiz has completely dropped off form. We started the podcast a while ago when the Sporting signed him, making fun of him, obviously, with a little bit of banter. But he picked it up. He actually played well for Sporting, and now looks like he's back in the fringes. You agree?
I agree, but I don't think it's just him. I think Elias hasn't played very well. Markovic hasn't played very well. I know he scored, but a tap-in, not the best goal, but a goal's a goal. Yeah, there's some players in the team that really should be improving if they want to stay in the first side.
And another thing that I thought it's very weird. I don't know what's going on with Jefferson right now.
Either do I. Haven't. They say he's injured, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, Zegler, I guess, is a good backup for the first team. But who knows about Jefferson?
Personally, I like Marvin better than Jefferson anyway, so it's good for me in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Yeah, but that's because Jefferson hasn't been the player that he was about like 2 seasons ago. So that's
I think
that's where my question comes from. What's happening?
I really don't know with Jefferson.
Not really sure. It could be something honestly behind the scenes that we don't know. It could just be a drop in form. I think that just Marvin's just been better than him, honestly. Dropped him, and no looking back.
But João Pereira has been quite a decent player for you guys. And Sam, do you prefer him over Schelotto?
I'm not sure about Alex, but I do prefer João Pereira over Schelotto. I think Schelotto sometimes gets a bit too aggressive and he's a liability when he's on a yellow card, whereas João Pereira is more calm. He's good with the ball at his feet. He knows when to clear the ball, and I think he's better than Schelotto.
What do you think, Alex?
Listen, okay, I think that Schelotto's better. Just by watching the Dortmund game, I think him and Gelson were the best players on the pitch, personally. But I can see where you're coming from because he is aggressive. You could even see that late in the match versus Dortmund.
I thought he had gotten sent off against Dortmund.
Yeah, so did I.
When
I came back into the room.
Yeah, I did as well.
Yeah, you guys did as well. I thought
he does get aggressive. I think that him as a player, I think he's better. But João Pereira, he's a bit more consistent. He's more of a level head, so he's good to go for right now. I still think that Schelotto's better.
Maybe you guys are sort of in the same situation Porto is, maybe because what Kevin was saying is that, for example, Ayun is better attacking and Max is better defending, and I think it's exactly the same thing here. João Pereira is a lot more solid on defense, but doesn't give you as much on the offense, while Schelotto is very good, going forward, and he has a very good crosses. So
yeah,
and
the
he used to play as a winger as well. Sorry to cut you off there, but in Italy he played as a winger for a little bit.
So I like João Pereira, his age as well. He's not getting any younger. He's getting slower. With Schelotto, I think he's more quick and can attack more, while João Pereira has to really focus on defense. Otherwise, he gets a risk of getting caught out.
Like CSKA, when we didn't make the Champions League, it was his fault.
Yeah.
So can I quickly say something about this game?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think I sent one tweet. I think it was from Sporting Soul, and before I go on, I mentioned on Twitter. Make sure to follow me at Rosinho00. Just it's in the podcast. People are still watching it. So
Gotta be kidding me.
Just gotta be getting a plug in there.
00, right? You keep getting it wrong, dude. It's 00.
Yes, sorry, 00, guys. I'm getting my own at wrong. Rosinho 00. All right. Well, I seen a tweet. I think it was from Sporting Soul, and I think it perfectly summed up the game. It said, we played like a team that's never played with each other before, which I think that's spot on, honestly, because the players they look like that was their first ever game. It looked like it was a pickup game, honestly. But yeah, what can we do? We moved on. We played well against Dortmund and got unlucky. So not much.
I don't really share your opinion on that, but we'll get into it.
Okay, we'll get into it for sure.
Yeah, but there isn't really much to say about this Samalicón game now, because we covered pretty much a couple players. The team didn't really play that well, but they came out with a win, and that's what they needed to go through to the next round. Also, I think I'm saying this from the top of my head, but I think that I'm right. In the last 3 years, on this round that we're gonna go, to in the Portuguese Cup, it has been Porto, Sporting, Benfica. No, it was Benfica, Sporting, Porto, Sporting, and Sporting Benfica in the last 3 years. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a big match again in this round, just like happened last year and the past 2 years. So something to keep an eye out. But now, obviously, moving on to the game against Dortmund. You guys ended up losing 2-1. Bruno Cesar scored Sporting's only goal. I'm going to give you the lineup real quick. Rui Patricio was in goal. Schelotto, Coates, Schmidt, and Marvin across the back with William and Elias. Gelson and Brian Ruiz on the wing. Markovic right behind Baz Dost. Alex, I'm going to ask you first. What did you think of the game?
I thought we were unlucky, like I said before. it seemed like we had the majority of chances. I just finished watching the game actually, probably like an hour ago, but because I missed it. But yeah, I thought we should have won. But Dortmund, when you got a world class striker like Aubameyang, they're tough to handle sometimes. Hitting us on the counter, scoring that first goal. Then that lucky Julian Weigl goal. But I think we should have won.
How'd you call that? What? Oh, sorry to cut you off. How was that lucky?
Peter, calm down. Peter, let Alex finish.
Oh, but that's a good goal, though. Oh my god.
I
Okay.
know, but we can get into it.
It was a nice finish, but we should have closed it down. Any other day, that wouldn't have happened.
Okay. So, are you done now? Go on.
I think that, if this was another night, like if we were playing tonight, I think we would have won that game. We were unlucky in front of goal. One disappointment to take away from that game is Ruben Semedo. I don't think he's been recently. I just don't think he's been that good. I think maybe it's time to give Paulo a chance, maybe, because he did play good against from the count. But we'll see. Gelson's world class, and that's all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. And Sam, before I ask you what you thought of the game, general question to you, Brian, and to Sam. What do you guys think of Julian Weigl's goal?
It could have been stopped, but it was still a good goal. Either way, the finish was good. But like I said, could have been stopped easily.
Good dribble, though. I think it was a great dribble, past Sporting. I don't remember who it was, but I think that he dribbled a player, or two players actually, quite well, and then he shot.
I think it was William and Elias.
Of course it's William. Yeah. Of course it's William.
No, but to
he's passing on William. Yes.
Listen,
to me,
playing with William sometimes is like playing with 10 men.
Yes, finally. Finally.
I was gonna say I agree with Sam. Like, it was a great goal. Yeah, the defenders probably should have pressured a lot quicker, but that's a great goal. I can't call it luck. It was a perfect shot, and it was Sporting's fault that they didn't pressure, but that was a great goal for Dortmund.
Okay, fair enough. Because
see, I seen like the tactics in that game. I don't know, like what JJ was thinking, but it seemed like the center backs didn't want to pressure them for some reason. I don't know if they just didn't want to get caught out. That's just
exactly.
Doing.
That's what I was gonna tell you. They don't want to get caught out with Aubameyang.
Yeah,
that's probably what it was.
Yeah, like that one run that he kept the ball in from going out for a corner. That was, it just shows right there.
Yeah. But Sam, I'll give you the floor now. What did you think of Sporting's performance yesterday?
I thought in the first half we played horrible. I don't remember a good chance apart from the disallowed goal in the first half. But like I said, that goal that Weigl scored, Elias should have closed him down, and Carvalho just sort of ball watched as the ball went into the net. The first goal from Aubameyang, I can't really fault anyone. Maybe Semedo because he fell. But with the pace of Aubameyang versus Semedo, there's always going to be one winner there. But in the second half, I thought we improved a lot, especially when Carvalho had more possession, more touch of the ball, more passes. But overall in the game, I think Elias should be dropped for the next game. He was very poor in that game. Markovic was terrible. I haven't liked him since he came back. He scored, I think, 2 goals. Doesn't do anything on the ball. So there are my views of the game.
You know what? I agree with all the points you just made right there. Just like to quickly say something there. That disallowed goal, not sure what the ref was thinking, because it's not a foul if you just stand there and the goalie runs into you. So.
Oh no, that one! Even William was fucking hugging the Borussia Dortmund player, dude.
That wasn't a foul.
It was a foul. It was a foul. He doesn't even go for the ball.
What I would say, Alex, is that even situations like that, referees always give it to the goalkeeper. Always. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but they always give it to the keepers. You know what I mean? I personally thought it was a foul, but if you disagree, I can understand it as well. But the referees just always give it to the goalkeeper.
What about the penalty on Dos? You think that was a penalty?
I didn't see that. I didn't see that, to be honest. I haven't seen that.
I've watched since the game was like 10 minutes. It had been 10 minutes played. So if that was like inside the first 10 minutes, I didn't see it, Alex. Well, so
I don't recall when it actually was, but I know it was a penalty. They clipped his ankles. So,
Sam, do you agree that there was a penalty in there?
I think I've seen it being given before, but I can understand why he didn't give it. But I thought we were unlucky not to get the penalty there as well.
Okay, but it wasn't like one of those. Oh my God, that's a clear as penalty. Should have called it.
No, not as ones as we had
No,
before.
I didn't even say it was like that.
Okay.
Like,
No, I'm
even
just.
in our
I'm
Twitter
just.
chat, I said, I've seen weaker ones been given. I think that should have been given, especially considering that he disallowed a goal that should have been allowed.
Mm.
I'll
Okay.
fight that to the day I die.
I think overall the ref actually helped out Sporting quite a bit with not giving any fouls to Dortmund, but that was my point of view, at least in the second half. But we're here to discuss Sporting's performance and not the referee. And we gotta try, and in our opinions, understand what Sporting did wrong to lose this game. I mean, obviously it's not any shame to lose out to Borussia Dortmund. But you guys seem to be pointing the fingers at William, and why is that? Why do you guys think that he played so badly?
I don't know. Ever since he came back from the Euros, he hasn't been the player he was last season or even at the Euros. He's been giving away possession a lot. Sometimes he gets scared to tackle the ball. I'm not sure if he's afraid to get a yellow card. But recently, in the performances that I've seen of him, he hasn't been at his usual self.
Mm-hmm. Alex?
I wouldn't say it's just Williams' fault. I'd say it's.
No, it's not just Williams. No.
I think, honestly, if we went out there, dropped the defense back slightly, I saw this in the group chat already, but drop the defense back slightly, have Elias man mark up on me, and I think we would have won the game. Not played William either, because I think he's too slow, especially against a team with so much pace. I just think he's too slow. But yeah, I think if we would have done that, we would have won the game. And if Bastos was finishing his chances, then I'm not thinking there are some positives that we could take away from that game.
Quickly is saying about Adrian Silva. Ever since he got injured, we've looked like a different team. I think he is really the heart of the team, and I think especially the game against Guimarães where he came off injured. As soon as Elias came on, it all went badly, and I think that's who we're missing in this team.
Yeah, but you can't blame Elias though on dropping 3 goals in 15 minutes.
No, not just Elias, but as soon as Adrian left the field, it seemed like a different team. Not just blaming Elias, like William gave away the penalty.
I think he really does hold the team together.
But the thing is, Sam, you said that you dropped Elias, but I mean, who the hell do you play there though?
Well, we signed Marcelo Melli, who's supposed to be a good player, and he hasn't even started a game. I don't think.
No, he hasn't.
He'd probably be one to start there.
I'd probably play Paulista.
That's why I think it's weird. Polish is injured, by the way. I think.
Oh, is it?
But this is why you guys are weird. Because you would have been a start to a guy that hasn't played the whole season in such a vital position for JJ. Because yeah, but Elias was playing. Elias was playing though. He came in the middle of the Brazilian season, so I mean he was playing. And we're talking about what?
When's the Argentina season end or start? Is that the same? Like, does it go the same as Brazil?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, then Melli was playing as well, so we could have played him.
Yeah, I suppose, but he's
a runner. Having a runner in your midfield is always a good thing. So
I'm not quite sure. I'm just I'm trying to think from JJ's point of view because he always had solid number 8 players. He had Ramirez, he had Enzo Perez. He had all those players that control the midfield, and I think that's what he likes about Adrian. And I don't think they have anybody that can do as well of a job as he can, obviously. So the question is, to replace him.
Nobody in the league as good of a job as him, though.
Probably not right now. Yeah, he's a player.
That's
I had to because Renato is no longer with Benfica. So,
hang on, can I quickly ask Sam something?
Go right ahead.
Alright, so this is me bringing up an old topic. I'm not sure if you watched our first couple podcasts, but we had this big discussion at the beginning of the Euros, end of the season last year, something like that. Who do you think is a better player, Adrian Silva or Renato?
I'm going to be a bit biased here because I've watched more of Sporting than Benfica, and I've seen more of Adrian play. So I'm gonna have to go with Adrian. But that's not saying Renato Sanchez is a bad player. I still think he's a very quality player. But Adrian is one of the best midfielders that Portugal have at the moment and in the Portuguese league. So I don't think there's much debate there.
Yeah, they like to think otherwise. So I like Sam. You know what? Whenever you want, you can come on the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you just like to hear his accent out.
Oh, I love it too. I love it.
All the girls love it as well.
I'm sure they do. But okay, so I'm just trying to think here a little bit. The press completely, his heads over here with Gelson, and once again he proved to have a very good game. I mean, when I thought that everybody else played poorly, he was the only one that stood out. At least to me, in my opinion, he's the one that stood out. I mean, even Brian Ruiz didn't play that well. I don't know if you guys share the same opinion as me. Brian hasn't been that good.
I don't think he's been bad, but I don't think last year I think he was the most influential player in the attack last year. But this year, I mean, it seems like JJ likes to play through Gelson. So
I agree with you from last year. Maybe either Ruiz or Jean Mario was one of the best or most influential players last season. But this season, I don't know. Something's happened. I'm not sure it's behind the scenes, but he seems like a different player to me.
Maybe just age.
Well, when you have a world-class player like Gelson that you got to share the ball with, though, it's pretty hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask.
Let me point one more thing out, and then you can go on.
Yeah.
Before the international break here, if you don't count those games that Ronaldo scored in the international break, just club, Gelson is the best Portuguese winger in the world at the moment.
Okay.
Statistically, and and when he plays.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Pizzi's just as good statistically.
Statistically, he's not the.
Pizzi's very close statistically.
He's close, but he's not. He's not at the same level. He's like a couple miles ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna ask this one out to Sam because obviously I know what Alex would say to me. But Sam, I think that Jorge is doing with Gelson this season, not the past season, this season, what he was doing with Carrillo in the beginning of last season. Because they seem to be playing in a very similar style.
Yeah. I just hope the same thing doesn't happen, that he doesn't want to sign a contract and move to the reserves. And then Benfica obviously don't want that to happen. But I agree. At the start of last season, I thought Carrillo was going to be the star man of the team. But then obviously the contract talk stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully Gelson can outshine him in the league this season. Is what I hope for anyway.
Yeah, but besides that, the way that they're playing is quite similar, isn't it?
Yeah, they're both fast. They're both skillful. There's not much difference. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, they both like to cut inside. That's what I was thinking. When I was watching, it seemed like I was watching Carrillo there because they seem very similar in the style of play, and I think that's up to Jorge.
So you can go on.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything.
I think the only difference is that like Gelson's actually good and Carrillo.
Oh my god. Okay, I knew you were gonna say something stupid. I knew you were gonna say something stupid. But you're lucky. You're lucky because I'm gonna talk about Carrillo here next, so don't worry about
it. Maybe I'll get a slander in a bit. All right, that's perfect.
Yeah, you're gonna. I mean, I'm gonna move on because I think we pretty much covered it. I'm just gonna tell you guys the table, even though I'm pretty sure that you guys know already. But it's Dortmund in first with 7 points and a +7 goal difference. Real Madrid second with 7 points as well, with a +5 goal difference, and then there's Sporting in third with 3 points. Legia in fourth with 0 points, -12 goal difference. And I think you guys are gonna go through to the Europa League. Honestly, I'm sorry, I don't see you guys winning the way or against Real Madrid at home.
I think we could win both of those games.
I think Sporting's gonna finish with 6 points and should comfortably go to the Europa League.
Yeah, can you read the table off to me again?
Hold on, I'll read it to you again in a second. Let me just get there again. It's Dortmund with 7, Real Madrid with 7, Sporting with 3, Legia with 0.
I think we could win both the games and make it through. honestly.
You play Dortmund back to back. You're gonna play in Germany.
Yes.
If you snatch a point, that's good. Even Real Madrid didn't win there.
They have
And then you
plenty
play
of injuries
Lazio.
at the moment, though, and if they pick up any more, you never know what could happen. Plus, we should have won that game, so I think we
Yeah,
could.
what if the players come back from injury though? You got to think about that.
You have to think about what if they get injured.
Okay, what if Johnson gets injured then?
Then we lose the game.
It goes the same way. It goes the same way. But I don't see you guys going through. And Sam agrees, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, realistically, it's the Europa League, and the Europa League is something we can win, so I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I agree as well.
It's realistic to win the this year's. I think teams are a little bit better. I mean, I remember last year Dortmund were in it, so I don't remember any of the teams really in these years. The Europa League.
Manchester United are in it, I believe.
Yeah,
They're probably the favourites to win.
United, Liverpool. That's pretty much about it that I can remember.
Liverpool's not in it, are they?
Hmm?
I don't think Liverpool's in it.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's
No?
Southampton. Is it Liverpool?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Same team this year.
Yeah, Liverpool are not in Europe this year. I forgot about that. Man United.
apologies.
Can I make a quick mention?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I don't know exactly when this was last updated, but Chelsea has 2 goals so far in Liga NOS and 3 assists. Is that right? Is that right?
The last time I checked, I'm pretty sure it's 6. So I'm not really sure.
I'm not sure.
What was it? What website are you checking on?
I'm checking whoscored.com.
I'm gonna
I
check
was
the
checking
result
on-
right now. Okay.
I was
I'll
on
get right into
But-
it.
transfermarket.com.
Average is, well, this could be old, right?
No,
Was
okay.
7 Liga NOS games and 3 Champions League games. So this is updated. Average, Chelsea has 2 goals, 3 assists. PZ has 11 games overall. He has 3 goals and 2 assists. So I mean, statistically, they're not that far apart, unless this is old.
I'm looking on transfermarket. I don't know if Peter can check the 0-0, whatever it's called, if he wants. But in the league, this is not Champions League or the TASA, like for the actual
Oh,
stats,
I
but
see it.
it's
And
2
I got
goals,
it.
6 assists. It says. Yeah.
Okay.
Right here he has. Hold on. He's got 2 goals scored. As for where's assists? It always says on goals. What the hell? I can't find.
But it's been 7 Liga games, no?
Yeah, there's been 7.
And it says 7 games here and 3 assists. Unless this is wrong, it's updated.
I don't know. The other
I
one says
can't
7
check
too.
the assists.
They could just classify it, an assist different. Like maybe it was a bounce off the keeper.
Oh yeah, everybody mentions.
But some sites will count it up. Like if you shoot it off the keeper and it goes in.
Either way, they're not that far off statistically.
Statistically, yes, but just
So PC's. Oh, okay.
Statistically,
Oh,
either
so
way-
now it
either
doesn't
way-
matter about
How many
statistics.
minutes?
Brian,
Oh, no, it doesn't matter about
How
statistics.
Wait,
many
hang on.
how many
What's the
minutes
It's
does
2
PZ
goals,
have?
3 assists on your site.
Yeah, 3 goals, 2 assists for PC.
Okay.
How
You know
many
what,
minutes
this
does
is
he
gotta
have
be wrong.
played? How many minutes does PZ has played?
PC has got more games. He has 853 minutes.
That's only 30 more minutes, roughly, than Gelson, so it's not that much.
That's true, yeah.
Gelson's got 824 minutes. But we're getting
Anyway,
a bit off.
yeah, we're getting
We're getting it sidetracked. Both good players. PC was world class today, but we're gonna get to that in a moment.
Johnson's world class every day.
Okay. I gotta mention that Kevin had to go, so he's not here with us anymore. So
As you guys can tell, I'm a bit of a Jelson fan, but I will be buying myself a jersey. So
everybody
that's
knows
it.
you're a Chelsea
Go
fan.
on
So
now.
he's
Sorry
going
for
to
interrupting you again.
I'm gonna laugh when he joins Porto. I'm just kidding. I don't think that'll happen, but it'd be funny if he did. But anyway, moving on to Benfica's match against Dezembro. Obviously, they won 2-1 with Danilo and Luizão getting the goals. Difficult game again when it shouldn't have been, but here's the lineup: Ederson in goal, Nelson Semedo, Luizão, Lisandro, and Luizão across the back, Carrilho and Zivkovic on the wings, Selic and Danilo, Sevi and Zé Gomes. And pretty much just like Sporting, the midfield didn't really know each other. The midfield players didn't really know each other, which I think didn't help in any way. But Danilo played very good in the second half, got a goal. Zé Gomes got unlucky to not score. But more than that, Brian, I got a question, and this has been going on for 2 seasons now, or roughly 2 seasons. This is the beginning of the second season. But why do we struggle against small clubs? And I'm not just talking about Segunda Liga teams. I'm talking about Primeira Liga teams that just don't attack at all. I don't know if it's like a pace. I don't know. There's something. What do you think?
I think there's a few things involved in that. I think first, when you make a lot of changes, it affects the team. They're not used to playing with each other. You have young players like Gomes and things like that. And second, it could be just that big club mentality, thinking we're gonna destroy this team. It shouldn't be like that, but unfortunately, it tends to be like that. So I think that's part of the reason.
It's mostly like a pace. I think that the team just doesn't pass the ball as fast as it should be, as it should, and I think that at all. But most importantly, and Alex is gonna laugh like hell about this, but I don't. I it's not me because I still think he's good, but a lot of Twitter, experts talking bad about Carrillo, and I'm not really sure what to think about it right now.
Um, well, I mean, when it comes to Carrillo, it's going to take time. I already said, I think after January, he'll be an important player. Going almost a year without football is not easy. He's still gelling with the team, still trying. I don't know if he played on the right in Itasa.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, well, he just needs to continue to play on the right. And yeah.
So
yeah, I mean,
that's my question. That's what I mean. I'm not surprised that he came off at halftime, but
but listen, Peter,
he's not being as explosive as he.
We got the man for free. So even if we sell him in January or next summer for $10 million, it's a $10 million profit for a player who was shit for us. If he ends up still being shit for us, there's no real negative towards it. So hopefully he gets better and helps the team. If not, we could sell him and make 100% profit. So
what was swirling around on the internet, and I think Record published it, and I'm not that against it. If he played in the B team for give him 3 starts, 3 consecutive 90 minutes, because they play in the middle of the week, and then on the weekend give him 3 starts, and he should get back into form a lot quicker. I mean, I'm not sure if the player is up to it. I think he is, because he doesn't seem like that type of player that like Tarat, for example.
Right.
So I think it'd be good for him, because he just needs to get his pace back, pretty much. Because whenever he's on the ball, that this guy is very good. So, I mean,
it's similar to Salvio, who lost his explosiveness, but now you see Salvio slowly coming back.
Yeah.
So Carrillo, it's still early. He can have a good season for us still.
Yeah, and Salvi took freaking 6 months to get back into form. So, and I'm not sure if Sam can want to weigh in on this, because I'm not sure if you watch many Benfica games. But if you want, you're free to.
I actually didn't watch the last Benfica games, so I can't tell. But like you've said before, a year without football isn't easy. You can't just expect them to get into the game straight away. But who knows? Like you said as well, investment for free, you're not losing anything. So.
All right. I suppose. So we should just focus on the.
I hope he stays like this. I hope he stays like this for the rest of his career. He deserves it. He had it all, He had it all.
He's one of those guys that leaves the freaking club without even it being his fault, and you're still giving him trash.
Yeah.
He could have. There's any other club in the world that he could have went
to. I think it's all down to Bruno Carvalho that he joined Benfica, but we already discussed this. So I mean,
I don't think it's on Bruno. I just think it's down to.
It was on Bruno Carvalho.
I just think he's. I don't want to say everything because this is a PG show, family friendly. Right, so.
No, not really. We're not that PG. I just said fucking it like 10 minutes ago. But yeah, you have your opinion, I have mine, and Brian shares mine as well. So I mean, and pretty much almost everybody does, except for the Sportingistas, obviously. I mean, I don't condone him going to Benfica, but I'm saying that he could have left in way better terms if Bruno Carvalho wasn't the asshole that he was. But it is what it is. Moving on what matters, Benfica played Dynamo Kiev today in the Ukraine. Benfica won 2-0. Salvio scored a penalty, and then Servi on the second half finished it off. So it was Ederson in goal. Semedo, Luizão, Lindelof, Grimaldo across the back. Feza with Pizzi, obviously. Salvio, Servi on the wings. Gedge and Mitroglou. What did you think of the game, Brian?
I thought it was a quality European performance from Benfica. I thought the first 10 minutes we started great. We got the penalty. Gonzalo Gedge looked good on that side. But then we started to lose it a bit. I think we tend to do that too much, in which we're winning and then we just sit off. I think our midfield was a little lost in the first half. But then in the second half, I thought we were brilliant. I thought the midfield controlled the game better. We scored another goal. Salvio looked better. Servi looked good. And overall, it's just a super important win. A lot of pressure on us to win this game. Still with super important players missing. Jardel, Jonas. So for us to win away from home, which isn't that often in Europe, it's a great result. And we can still come first, you know. It's very possible, but as long as we win our 2 home games, we're making it through. So yeah, it was a good game, and I'm happy about the result and the play. It was very professional play from Benfica.
And Pizzi was phenomenal.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, Pizzi, I'm not a fan of him in the midfield. I'm not really a fan of Pizzi at all, to be honest. But today he was brilliant. He controlled the play, especially in that second half. He was brilliant. That second goal was a huge part because of him. There was a lot of passes all going to him. Yeah, he was amazing today. Him, Semedo had another very good game. Servi was good. Feja is always Feja. He was a monster in the midfield. And Ederson, the best goalkeeper in Portugal, saved us again. He's got an amazing record for Benfica. I think in 23 games he's only lost 1, and that was to Bayern Munich.
That's Oblak-esque.
It's amazing. So he saved us again. He saves us again. You know.
Hold on. What did Alex say?
I said Brown's gonna take off the red goggles.
You don't think he's the best goalkeeper in Portugal?
Obviously, because he's gonna say Rui Patricio.
Obviously not. What do you mean?
Do you think Rui Patricio is the best goalkeeper in Portugal?
Yes.
That's funny. When Patricio catches crosses, then he could be the best goalkeeper in Portugal. But until then, it's Ederson, and he can't kick like Ederson.
Oh,
and,
kicks are beautiful.
You know what? I have nothing to say. Okay.
Oh, I know, because I'm right.
It's just funny, because I agree that 2 of them. The reason why I would even say Ederson's better is because he's a hell lot younger, and he seems to be already near Patricio.
Look at the pressured games he got thrown into last year. Sporting, Zenit, Bayern Munich. This is all a goalkeeper who had never started for us, and he was humongous. If not for him, Benfica would not have won the title. He was huge in us winning the title. And on the other hand, Patrice has been at Sporting for his whole life and has yet to win a league title. And Ederson was a huge reason in us winning that league title.
But he's going to win a title this season, so our argument's going to be...
he was supposed to win it last season as well.
At the end of the season. I'm sure Sam agrees that Patrice is the best keeper. Sure, Ederson's got potential, but he's not European champion.
It would be hard for Sam not to agree with you, though. Yeah, because, it's almost consensual that he's the best, even though, I understand Brian's case, and I could agree with it. And I only do agree with it because he's a hell lot younger and he seems to be already near Patricio's level, which I think it took Patricio a hell of a long time to mature.
Ederson's already mature.
First mistake-free season last year, because Patricio every year used us to having a great game, and then in the next game he caused Sporting the win. In this is his first mistake-free season, so. Yeah, I think Ederson matured a lot faster than Patricio, so he has the potential to be a lot better than he can. Is he better right now? Probably not. Would I still take him over Patricio? Most definitely, yes. But now moving on, obviously, Servi had a good game. Raul is back, which is good. Brian, I thought that Gage was very, very good. And he's reminding me of Gelson in a certain way. Because Gelson last year didn't know how to pass the ball. And I think that Gage is having that issue this year where he's not making the right passes. For example, he passed to Mitroglou like twice when he was nowhere near the ball, but when he could have passed to him, he decided not to. So
yeah, I think it's a case in where Jelson's matured very quickly. And Jelson's an amazing player, I can't deny that. And he's better than Gage, in my opinion. But
obviously, that's not,
No, I know. No, I think Gage has that as well. I mean, once Gage gets his mistakes right, which is making better decisions, making passes when he's short and shooting when he's short, he's going to be a top player. It's just, so far he's shown a humongous potential. He's still only 19, so I think he's going to be a huge player for Benfica this season and next season as well.
He was very good. He was very good overall. I'm talking about the passes that he missed, but he was very good overall.
Yeah, he was.
Came off exhausted. Just like Seri, and I'm pretty sure that Seri was even bleeding on his knee. At least he looked like it. I mean, they didn't show any more replays, but I thought he was bleeding. But everybody gave their 100%. But I think that it was worth noticing that Gage was absolutely tremendous, but just needs to learn how to pass the ball. And since while we're at it, why does Salvio not pass as well?
Salvio's never going to learn. I think we've said that about a long time ago.
So egotistical. He wasn't that much, though, in the past.
I don't know if he's trying to prove himself to Rui Vitória that he can be the best winger in Benfica. I don't know. I thought he had a pretty good game today, though. I thought he passed better than usual.
The second goal, but for example, take the second goal, for example. He could have passed earlier.
Yeah.
A hell of a lot earlier, and he tries to take it on himself, and he gets the rebound, then gets the goal, and then we get the goal. But he could have passed it earlier. There was a counterattack where he could give it off to Gage and Samiro, and he misplaced both passes. And I mean, he could have passed. I mean, he misplaced just one pass, obviously, but he had two passing lanes. Took forever, waited for Samiro, and even misplaced the pass to Smith. So I think he needs to release the ball a little bit more because I don't know. I think that he's back to his old form. He just needs to pass more.
He's very close to his old form. I think from when he was at his peak, he was better than he is now. But he's very close, and if he keeps getting better, it's only going to be beneficial to Benfica because he really is a quality player. He was so close to being in the Premier League if not for that injury. So yeah, he's a great player for us, and hopefully he just keeps getting better.
Yeah. And what did you think about Lindelof, though? Because obviously you didn't watch it on Sport TV, but
no, I did.
Oh, you did?
The stream was Sport TV.
He kept bashing out on Lindelof, saying that he wasn't as good as he used to, and I think that it was the case. He wasn't that good.
Yeah, no, I don't think he had a very good game today. I don't know exactly what happened to him. He seemed just a little out of it, a little lost. But, players every once in a while, these things happen. So hopefully it's today and it doesn't happen again in the league. But yeah, he wasn't his normal self. But Lindelof, at his best years, he's one of the better centre-backs in Portugal. And and just to say Benfica, we wanted this huge game once again with no Jardel, no Jonas. I can only imagine when those two players come back and we start to gel again. I think we're going to play a lot better and start winning even more.
Do you still think Jonas was going to be scoring all the goals he did last year, though?
He was old last year. He's old again. Why not?
He's a year older now, though.
That doesn't matter. There's only 1 year. It's not 6.
It just depends.
Louis also old as hell. He played well today.
Oh, he did.
And he seems to be getting back into form. I will put a $20 bet right now that Jonas will not be top 3 in scoring this year.
Well, look, he's already missed 2 months of football. That's a pretty easy bet.
Listen, we'll start recording it from this date, and we'll see.
He's only going to be back in November.
He's only going to be back in November. He's still got to recover from that injury, which is about 3 months out. So
He's not
of
good enough.
course,
Okay, that's my point. He's just not good enough.
he's not good enough, but he was the top goal scorer last year ahead of Slimani.
I think that Sam might not agree with you on this one. Surely not.
He doesn't have to.
Like you said, injuries can play a part, but Jonas is still a good player. He proved it last season.
Yeah.
But
He was the top goal scorer 2 years in a row.
I'm
The referee
not
didn't
saying he's
call
not.
offside.
Okay, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying.
Statistically, he's better than Slimani.
Okay.
No, statistically, he's better than a lot of freaking strikers
Statistically, he's
out there.
better than a ton of strikers in the world.
Oh, okay.
But I would still agree with Alex that he wouldn't get top 3.
I just don't.
No.
It's hard for him to be top 3 now.
Listen,
Because he missed so many months, but
listen, if you were to start scoring goal, like the second he comes back, if we were to record his top goal scorer from the day he comes back, I still don't think it's gonna be him.
you want to do that? I'll do that.
We
I'll
will
go
do
ahead and
that.
do that. I'll do that. As soon as Jonas is back and playing, I'll do that. I'll start
Alright, we
counting the
will.
goals that I want to
Okay.
score. Okay.
We'll see.
But
I know I'm right, you know.
and we're done
I'm
with
not-
this. I mean, I think
Normally
we're
I'm not
done with this.
like normally I'm not wrong, you know. I say play Latvia in the Euros, we play them and we win the Euros. Okay, so
Yeah. The only thing that I want to mention here is that obviously Bruno Carvalho, being the idiot that he is, he said some stuff about vouchers that Benfica were giving to the referees, paying them off to win games. But Benfica themselves asked the police to conduct a search at the stadium to see if they'd find anything illegal. So there's that out of the window right there. So just want to point that out, that Benfica asked the police to search the stadium for any proof
Of course, BDC probably says the police are corrupt as well. So
that he replied
doesn't matter,
yesterday,
Peter.
so that's
That
what I
doesn't
wanted to
matter,
know what he
Peter.
said. I don't know what he said. I mean, I don't really care. He said that Benfica is a joke. That's pretty much the only thing that I read.
Yes,
that he
just the
said.
3-time champions.
Obviously.
Biggest joke in Portugal.
But I think we're gonna move on to Twitter questions now. We only got a couple, and they're from Sergio. I'm gonna direct this one both to you guys, to Sam and Alex, even though you guys already talked about it. But what are your thoughts on Markovic's performance this week, from both of you? Any of you can go
Poor.
first?
Very, very poor. I would say.
Yeah, it's
I'm not
a
sure if Alex would agree, but
yeah, I agree with you. His goal was lucky against Famalicão. Didn't do nothing special against Dortmund. I think he's lost his touch, but I think he can bring it back. Maybe like a Carrillo situation, you know? Yeah, just saying.
I don't think we should claim him as a striker either. I think he's better on the wing than a striker.
This is where I think.
But there's no options for him.
He's a better. I think he's a better attacking midfielder than he is a winger.
No, I disagree. I think he's a better winger. I'm shocked that Sporting's playing him as an attacking midfielder. I prefer him as a winger.
Every time he played for Benfica, he created danger coming from the midfield. The goal against Sporting, goal against Porto.
But he was coming off of the wings. Maybe he feels more comfortable like that, coming off into the wings through the midfield.
I think missing a whole season pretty much with
like Carrillo.
And then the injuries that he had at Fenerbahce, just cut him off a little bit. He's like a heel right now. He's in that limbo. He should.
I hope after January he's gonna be a good player. But yeah, there's nothing really out wide for him. Like Chelsea, if his form slips, maybe Markovic can have that spot. But Brian, I don't think we'll drop Brian for him either. So at the moment, there's nowhere else except Fabinho for him.
Yeah. So Markovic was poor. We know that. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna write this one to Sam and then Brian, because it's a Porto question, but I'm gonna give it to both of you. And Sergio says, given the nature of the losses revealed last week, Porto had a minus 50 million euro in debt or something like that. They lost 50 million euros, I believe. Yes, do you believe the signings like Iker and Maxi were worth it for Porto? And Sam, I'll let you answer this one.
Both think they're very good. Porto. Casillas, recently not the best goalkeeper for Porto, but still a good signing. So yeah, I think both of them are pretty good signings. They are title-winning players for Porto, but wherever they win the title this year is a different story.
Yeah, so given the money that they spent on them, were they worth it though? Like right now, would you say that they were worth it?
I would say yeah, they would worth it.
Brian, what do you say?
I mean, I don't think so. You know, you bought these players to win the title last year. Although you could blame Lopetegui. But Casillas hasn't been great, as Sam mentioned. Maxi, to me, is still a great right back. I think that's a very good signing. I mean, on paper, Casillas is a great signing. But to me, he's not as good as Addison or Rui Patricio.
Nowhere near. Not even Julius Cesar.
Yeah. No, not even Julius Cesar, in my opinion.
I like the last one.
So to me, they're paying those players a lot of money. If Porto don't win the title this year, then it was a wasted investment because that would be 2 seasons for them, and still no title. So yeah, I think it was a bit of a waste.
And I'll let Alex wait in on this as well. Alex, what do you think?
Not really much. You guys covered it all. I agree with everything. The two you guys stated.
Okay.
Except for
worth it or not
what
worth
Peter
it?
said.
What? I didn't say it.
Not worth it.
Okay.
No, you said that you said that Julius better than
Okay.
Casillas.
He is better than Casillas.
He is. In the Portuguese league, he is.
And yeah, basically, and then Nelson commented broke salary bank for Maxi, Iker, Felipe, and very little revenue from Bruno Martins India and others, way upside down economics, and that is the case for Porto. And I'll get into it next week. I'll talk about it with Kevin a little bit more in depth, what he thinks about Porto's depth. Brian, do you have the scores and all that set up? Or
The scores from the past Liga weekend?
Yep.
I can get it right now, just 2 seconds.
All right.
Or maybe a couple more seconds. Okay, never mind. I just needed those two.
Okay.
Don't worry, fellas. Okay,
doing what Kevin does normally. So.
I have Tondela. Excuse me for my bad pronunciation on somebody's team. Tondela 2, Pax Ferreira 1, Rio 1, Ishli 2, Chaves 3, Berlange 1, Guimarães 3, Sporting 3, Nacional 0, Porto 4, Setúbal 0, Marítimo 1, Benfica 4, Farense 0, Boa Vista 2, Moreirense 0, Baroka 1, and Braga 1. You want me to read the standings?
Yeah.
Benfica first.
And, bottom 3.
Okay. Top 5, Benfica first, 19 points. Porto and Sporting, second and third, 16 points. Braga's in fourth with 14 points. And Chaves, surprisingly, is in fifth with 12 points. And the bottom 3 is Moreirense in last, Tondela in 17th with 5, Baroka with 5 and 16th.
In between that, there were Portugal games where we won. Both games against Andorra and the Faroe Islands. What about the toss of the Portugal scorelines?
The toss Portugal scorelines, that's a bit more difficult. Hold on there.
Yeah, find that. That's all right. We'll get on to the Segunda Liga. I know that Santa Clara lost today, and everybody's upset about that.
Yes.
The Azorians are upset.
Yeah, let me check the Segunda Liga results. Okay.
Sam, did you believe that Santa Clara could have a chance of getting promoted? Because they were on top.
I'm not actually familiar with them very much because obviously they're not televised as much as the big three. But yeah, I'd say they got promoted.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me read the.
There's a small team in the Azores. That's really all you need to know about them. Kevin likes them a lot, so.
Yeah, me too. I'm Azorian, so I'm in full support of Santa Clara, who's been in the first division before, so hopefully they can do it again. But anyway, reading the last results, we have Penafiel 1, Segunda Liga, yeah. Penafiel 1, Gil Vicente 0, Porto B 1, Famalicão 1, Guimarães B 1, FAF 3, Leixões 2, Braga B 2, Porto Manense 3, Benfica B 0. I'm half Portuguese and English here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I got confused. Olhanense 1, Alves 2, Santa Clara unfortunately 1, Académico 2, Friamund 2, Sporting B 3, Covilha 1, Vizela 1, Académica 3, Varzim 2, Union 0, and Cova Piedade 1. And I'll read the top 5 in the Segunda and the bottom 3. Portimonense is in first with 29 points. Santa Clara is still in a promotion zone, 23 points. Benfica B is in third with 21. Alves is in fourth with 20. Penafiel in fifth with 19. And the bottom 3 is Olhanense with just 1 point in last. 21 is Friamund with 8. Les Changes Eut at 20th point. Les Changes is 9. Les Changes have 9, sorry. In 20th place, and as ever, the second division is super tight. Excuse me for my mixed language there.
That's very funny. Check out on your DMs because you got the score lines there for the
Okay. Yeah. Just a second.
Here goes some more great pronunciation.
I tried. I mean, I'm not perfect.
Listen, I can't do much better either. So honestly, I can't do much better.
Random team 1 and then other team 3.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, I thought it was pretty good pronunciation. I have a bit of an Estonian accent, so it sounds a bit weird.
You do a little bit better than Kevin.
Okay, the results. My eyes a little bit here. Académica 2, Belenenses 0. Prayense, I don't know if that's how you say it, 3. Ferenc 1. Or Ferenc. Trofense, 0. Stubble 1. Alcanense.
Yeah, Alcanense.
It gets harder as the teams get worse.
Yeah, I know.
Ferenc 2. I don't know. I'm gonna give up on that one. I'm gonna give up. You want to do it, Peter? Because this is hard. This is that lower division.
Yeah, that's fine. So, Alcanense 1, Feirense 2, Aljus Trelense 1, Limianos 0, Caldas 0, Estoril 1, Sinfães 0, Benfica Castelo Branco 1, Gil Vicente 1, Casa Pia 0, Moreirense Murilinense 2, Leixões 3, Mortágua 0, Cova da Piedade 1, Naval 0, Marítimo 4. did what you did right there. Oriental 2, Barreirense 0, Real Massamá, I believe 1, Arouca 0. So Arouca is out of the cup against the third division team. São Joanense 2, Lusitano 1, Santa Iria 1, Vitória de Guimarães 2, Sertanense 0, Tondela 4, Torriense 2, Académico de Viseu 0, União da Madeira 0, Chaves 1, Varzim 3, Águeda 0, Vitória Cernas.
You're Portuguese, Peter.
Vila Franquense 1, Vizela 1, Moreirense 0. So Moreirense out of the cup against their rivals Vizela. They're just a couple miles away. Estarreja 1, Nacional 3, and Santa Clara 2, Rio Ave 1. So those are the results from the Taça Portugal. Obviously, like I said, the draw is in 2 days' time at noon Portuguese time. So what is that in the US? 2, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. So that's 7 p.m. a.m. in the US. Is there anything you guys want to say? I mean, I want to obviously thank Sam for coming on, being the first Sporting guest here on the podcast. I hope you enjoyed.
It was very fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Feel free to join up anytime. By the way. So.
Can I throw in?
Yeah.
It was great to have Sam on. You're one of the few Sportingistas that seem quite like level-headed, which I enjoyed to hear. You know, that was great. It was great to talk to you, though. Seriously, I enjoyed hearing your views and things like that. And I hope we get to talk again.
Yeah,
definitely should come on more often.
Yeah, you definitely will, because I need help sometimes,
Yeah.
Like, I'm outnumbered by these Benfica fans.
Obviously, you're outnumbered. I want to let out the Twitter handles as well, by the way. So at PTFootyPodcast, that's where you normally find me, or at Peter1678 if you want my actual personal Twitter. Uh, like Alex said in the beginning of the podcast, at Resinho 00.
Yes, 00.
Sam, I
Apologies.
believe, is at Sam Fonseca with double A. Yeah, there
Yeah,
we go.
that's
So
right.
at Sam Fonseca with two A's in the end. And Brian underscore and N, right?
Yeah,
There we
and
go. So
yeah.
you can follow us there. And we'll be back next week. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk some more football with Neil because Neil's gonna be on next week. We're gonna have to um, we're gonna have to review a couple of games, obviously, and then we're gonna talk about Porto's, um, depth issue, and I guess I'll see you guys next week. Ciao.
All right.